all of us have dignity, all of us have worth, that we're going to set up a system in which there's rule of law and separation of powers and an independent judiciary, and there are these freedoms, freedom of worship and freedom of the press, and an assurance that if we go before the law, that there will be an impartial process to make decisions. And we all stuck to that, more or less. It doesn't mean there weren't corrupt politicians. It didn't mean that there wasn't abuse of power in society itself. Obviously, there were vast differences in terms of access and influence and having a megaphone. But we all said, even though that ideal wasn't always observed, that that was the right ideal to have. And I do believe that our commitment to those principles has eroded. And I think it eroded in part because the government itself got really big. And what that meant is sometimes it felt distant and unresponsive, and rules are a hassle, and some of the rules aren't smart, and people get frustrated. I think part of what happened also is that it's easier to observe, it's easier to agree to disagree and have forbearance to people who you don't agree with if they all sort of look like you. There's in the United States Senate, when I got there, I was the only African American. There was one Hispanic in the United States Senate. I'm not that old, so this is fairly recently. You had a sense of how different it was by looking at the men's gym in the Senate versus the women's gym. Men's gym, really big, and old guys walking around with not wearing enough stuff. And then the women's gym was like basically a modified closet with a bike, because there just weren't that many. And so during that period of our history, I think there was